This year, in our Concertos by Candlelight program, this has become rather a tradition for us now. And every year I look for a little bit of a different slant. In preparing for this one, I thought, what would it be like if we had an evening of all duo concerti? And so indeed, that's what we have. So we have a little Vivaldi mandolin concerti for two mandolin. Fun, cheerful, typical Vivaldi, and couldn't be more appropriate for this work. Then let's go to Mr. Bach. His ever popular concerti for two violins, played by our concertmaster and co-concertmaster, Rudolf Romanovich and Alvaro Gomez, will be frankly resplendent. They live this piece, they love this piece, and this is a familiar work to the audience. You will recognize it, and it is one of Bach's very best, one of the best examples of Baroque concerti. Now let's move a little bit further in history. Let's go to Mozart. And what is one of his most interesting? Well, he has a lot of interesting concerti, as you might imagine, but there's none more serene and more beautiful than the one for harp and flute. It's really predominantly flute with harp as the accompaniment, because it was originally believed that he wrote it as for instrument, keyboard instrument, but the flute and harp concerto by Mozart is sublime. And this work is played and performed by our principal flute, Norley Garcia, and our harpist, Don Edwards. Two fabulous players. Now let's go a little forward again. Let's look at, what do you think about the orchestra's concerti? Well, we know that Mr. Bartók wrote a piece called Concerto for Orchestra. Well, so did Sir Michael Tippett. And I'm using his middle movement, the Adagio, that is this gloriously restful movement for two orchestras. And the parts are literally written separately, as one orchestra plays and the other orchestra plays as they intertwine. So it was only appropriate, if we do a duo concerto program, that I let the orchestra be part of the concerto too. So two orchestra piece by Sir Michael Tippett. And then, if that wasn't enough to cap it off, is the Poulenc's concerto for two pianos. And it is fun, it is cheerful. He has this theme that goes throughout the work that just continually goes back and forth and ties it all together. It is being played by our own Dr. Gloria Cook and her sister, Cynthia Lawing. And it will be as much fun as you can possibly have. Poulenc himself premiered this with a friend of his in 1932 at a contemporary music festival. And then it's a piece that never lost its standing in double piano repertoire, because in 1945 in England, Benjamin Britten wanted to play the concerti with him, so Poulenc and Britten did a performance of the concerti. It has stayed in the repertoire ever since. So if you're looking for an interesting program of all two concertis, you couldn't be in a better place. Everything from Vivaldi and Bach and Mozart to Tippett and the cheerful Poulenc. An evening not to be missed in our tradition of concerti by candlelight. We hope to see you there.